With us to discuss this is political analyst Quentin Giles. Welcome back to BNC.
Thank you for having me.
Quentin, a part of the ongoing debate about reparations for American slavery and repressive Jim Crow laws is deciding who should actually receive those reparations. Now, as you just heard from Christy Williams, why not start in Tulsa, where the research supports the facts?
Yeah, I think Tulsa is an excellent place to start. We all know the atrocities of slavery and the impacts they have had. But here in Tulsa specifically, we can see one of the primal examples of white domestic terrorism terrorizing, brutalizing, killing, dismantling Black bodies, Black businesses, and a Black family structure. And so this is one of our most recent examples. And so I think that this is a perfect place to start, because this community was thriving all on its own with all of the oppressive tactics that the society had at large. And they were thriving. They were creating businesses. They had families. So this is a great place to start, especially when we talk about Black Americans receiving reparations from the government.
So let me ask you this then. A number of similar massacres took place in many parts of the country during the Red Summer of 1919. So how do we know whether or not the families in Tulsa deserve reparations over the others? Or do they not?
Yeah. Oh, that's such an excellent question, because I would implore us not to get into who should and who should not. Black people have been systematically oppressed, and that's just period. And so all Black people deserve reparations for the atrocities committed in this country. I think that it's important for all of us to come together and say, if we have to, if the way we're going to get reparations is one part at a time, then we support each individual Black community that has been dismantled, that has been oppressed, that has been brutalized, to ensure they get theirs, and then they pay it forward and ensure we get ours as well. So I appreciate that question, because I think it absolutely highlights the trap that we have to be careful, not only from those that are anti-reparations, but also from those that call themselves allies, but are still ignorant to the plight of Black people.
Right. Now, the Tulsa Race Massacre Centennial Commission, they submitted a very detailed report highlighting areas of direct reparations almost 20 years ago. Do we know if anything's been done, and, what are the next steps to get the families of the Greenwood district compensated?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of talk. No one has been compensated yet. and it's really a shame that it has taken so long. But we are seeing more people talking about it. We are seeing push in Congress, headed up by Houston Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee, to get reparations on the books for Black folks. And so the only thing we're seeing right now, which almost seems like we always seeing something for Black folks, whether it's reparations, whether it's police reform, whether it's voting rights, the conversation is being pushed forward. But it's really imperative, and it's just really time for us to get our just due. In any relationship, if I wrong you, Laverne, if I do something and destroy something of yours, and then on the other side say, I still want to work with you, I still want to be collaborative, I still want to make this country great with your help, how can I and you adequately come into partnership if I don't repair the damage I did to you? And so that is the basic case for reparations right now.
Absolutely, Quentin, and we want to be clear about reparations for African Americans in general, because some form of reparations have been paid to Native Americans, Japanese Americans, and Confederate families after the Civil War. So why is it that America can't seem to figure out how to compensate African American families for these egregious crimes to humanity? Yeah,
and I would add, even former slave owners were paid for their freed slaves by the American government. And so it is really just, at this point, it's a will. It is a will. There is no justifiable argument to say you paid all these other subgroups monies for the atrocities either committed to them, and even paying the slave owners themselves for having to free Black folks, but you haven't paid Black folks for what you did to us, and have continued to do to us through laws and redlining and mass incarceration and all these other various things. So to me, it is a matter of will. And I really wish people would just start saying that, as opposed to gaslighting and saying, you know, America can't afford it. Well, we couldn't afford the stimulus checks, but America seemed to print money so everybody could get $1,400. So it's a matter of will. Pay Black folks what they are due. Give us the bootstraps and the boot that we should have been pulling ourselves up with that was stolen from us so we can go forth and continue to prosper.
Well, Quentin, we are out of time, but thank you so much. You broke it down for us. We appreciate you joining us here. Come back and see us again.